And then I think we're going to have like a short segment on like what they need to work on, what's broken. And then after that, we're going to do week in review. We're going to talk about your boy T-Hawk. That's franchise. That's franchise recruiter right there.
He's definitely I gotta talk about him.
And some other, yeah. So we'll do that, and then we're gonna talk about like possible Super Bowl matchups. I'm gonna give a little soliloquy on my boy Julio, Chargers. And then we're gonna kick you out at some point, man. Oh, I do want you to be here because there's a segment on here about like SML veterans and whether they're trying to win and shit. I kind of have a feeling on what you're gonna say on that shit, but I do want you to be here for that segment.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these motherfuckers like, I ain't trying when they start losing. Oh yeah, man. I don't even gonna get me started. Polo. Anyway, so all right, I'm about ready to go. I'm over here. Yeah, man, that's my cousin, man. I can't say nothing too bad, but that motherfucker drives me fucking crazy, man. On that damn site sometimes. All right, I'm about to push it live. You got your intro ready over there, franchise?
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can.
All right.
I can. I'm gonna just start it and then make sure the stream is up.
All right.
Should be signed in already. This shit not remember that I just put in this information a few seconds ago? Don't make me just do it on Twitch, man, and move it over. I hate to do that because this shit has some. I got like a brand and all this shit put up on YouTube.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports.
Not yet. Hold on.
Today's game is a Super Bowl
It's making me put my password in. I thought I just fucking saved this shit.
Linebackers in the NFL. It's Brandon Marshall going up against Luke Kuechly.
This dude got the legendary music playing in the background.
That's right, baby. That's right, baby. That's right, baby. Episode number 2. SML Talk. Chalk Talk starts now.
Did you do that voice on the beginning of Madden last year? Yeah. It's like that dude.
And hello again, everybody.
All right, so it says my account is linked.
Chuck, you take a look at this
Podcast
matchup.
gameplay.
I don't know if it's going to be one in the trenches from the quarterbacks out, whatever.
All right,
it's
let me
going
get
to be
the
a
title
good
straight.
Oh, without a doubt. I can't wait to see the big fellas have an impact. We're always spotlighting those wide receivers and quarterbacks
SML
and running backs
Talk.
and even the defensive backs. But the big guys, I can't wait to see which one tilts the balance for their team. Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go from uptown Charlotte. Fozzie Whitaker now on the return.
The franchise is our leader. He's the TV personality and shit.
You ready?
And we just, hold on. We, public, we online ID and tags, you know. Start broadcasting.
And they'll be led out by their quarterback and none other than Cam Newton. In 2015, he had one of the great seasons ever by a
says we are live. Let me double check.
A threat to throw it, a threat to run it, became a terrific leader and led his team to a Super Bowl appearance.
We're live?
I believe we are live.
All right, welcome to another episode of SML Chalk Talk. This is the second episode, August 30th, 2016. On the phone, and we have a special guest today for you today. His name is the King of OK. We're going to be interviewing him shortly, but often duplicated and never imitated. I'd like to introduce my host, the Baloney.
Greetings, guys. It's good to see you all. Welcome to week 2 of this shit. The SML Talk, guys. We're going to be hitting a bunch of subjects today. We're going to be talking to King about a range of issues that we have on our plate today, but excited to see you guys. My screen right now is showing the franchise. I'm going to bounce in and out of here, but right now I'm over here just making a franchise, messing around with these sliders, so don't mind that. Just listen to what we're talking about, and we'll go from there.
All right. Turn down our theme music, and let's get started. Coming into the studio, he needs no introduction, first of all. This is a often misunderstood owner and coach, and we are very, very proud and honored to have him as our official first-time guest. We got stood up last time by the champ, and we're going to talk a little bit about that on today's show.
Gabe Urian.
Yeah,
we're
so
talking about you, Gabe.
That's right. We're talking about you, Gabe, and hopefully you're listening wherever you might be. But today is about King of OK, and he has taken the time out of his very busy schedule, and we know he's a busy man. So let's give a warm welcome to King of OK. King of OK, how are you, first of all?
Can uncover themselves downfield and create
This is great. This is the first time I've actually heard your voice, and it's a pleasure to finally meet you, and we're going to jump right into it without further ado. First of all, my first question, and we'll kind of alternate between me and Thelonious here. What are your thoughts on the game on a whole? Like, I mean, there's a lot of talk about the game. What are your thoughts about Madden?
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
This year is going to be different. Go ahead.
Speaking of this year being different, so, I mean, how do you feel? I know you said you like the game, but there's stuff flying around out here. I'm deep in this rumor mill. I've heard from a lot of people, a lot of old players, a lot of players that I respect that have said they think that this is the game finally, that if you know football, you're going to succeed. And in conjunction with that, there are people out there who think that this isn't going to be King's game. This King is just a video game player. How do you respond to that?
Oh, wow. Wow, you're calling out names here on the show. Wow, it is. So King, let me ask you, and we're going to get right at you. Do you consider yourself an elite coach? And if so, why? And answer that why. Why do you see yourself as an elite
for the Broncos.
Coach?
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
You've grown since then. Yeah.
As the Broncos come out leading the way is Mark Sanchez.
Well, good for you, man. Look, like I've always said, I'm always good to hear. It's always good for me to hear or see, a player who started from where you did. Like when you started in the league, you were a whipping boy, man. Everybody was beating you up, and to come to the point where you're at now, where you're beating the hell out of people, that's got to feel good.
He had 2 fumbles, and he knows he has to take care of the football.
So what do you? All right, we're going to get to that in a minute. What do you say to the King? What do you say to the critics that this is what they're saying, that you play 15,000 man hours a month and draft champions, and that this is the reason why you're better? What do you say to that?
He loses the football, so they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
Packer coach.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the
You got to axe the ground with old Billy, it sounds like.
But with a runner, there's no such thing as a safe run, right?
So just I want to go in the.
You're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
Now the Broncos
Good deal. I want to go into
onto the field.
some of these areas that we're talking about. So just overall with the game, like, If you had to rate Madden on a scale of 1 to 10, or 0 to 10 rather, what would you rate this one?
Better than last year.
And a great spot to start this drive from here.
So King,
That's about where I would come in with it too.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm messing the show up because people calling me. People like Squirrelbird are calling me, knowing that we're live on the air.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
Pacific Coast
It's a
time.
loss of 2
So
there,
King,
bringing
you've
up
poked
second down.
some of the big
I saw
dogs
Von
in the
Miller
league.
in college
You
at
sort
Texas
of poked
A&M,
at the Bears.
and all I kept hearing
Big
about was
boys
his
in the
speed
league.
off
And so
the
why
edge
do
to the
you
quarterback.
and do you feel
But
why
what
do you do
impressed
that? And
me
do you think you
is
can
balance
back that up? I
and his
mean, you
ability
kind
to
of
take on
we're
blocks
talking
and
about
be a
some
force
of
in
the
the run game,
elite
as we just
coaches.
saw
Do you
there.
think you can back that up?
Hey, hold on. I think we may have some technical difficulties with King over here. We're getting some issues with that. Hold on one second.
All right.
All right, technical difficulties, guys. I apologize.
No problem, no problem. So, I just wanted to ask King. I mean, he's not lacking for confidence.
I'm not sure if he's being heard yet.
Surveying the field. Great protection.
Yeah, I hear you.
Now he'll let it go.
Yeah, we can hear you. I just don't know if it's being
So
broadcast. I'm sharing my party audio.
Down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
Well, I have a stream up as well.
Meeting with these coaches before the game.
Okay, post your link and see if they can hear you on that one.
They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later. 4th
down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers.
So they're saying they're
It'll
not
be a
getting any audio.
49-yard
Is that what
attempt
we're
from
hearing?
the
They can hear me and you. They can't hear King.
And this one is right down the middle. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So they recover the fumble in plus position, but they can't go anywhere. In fact, they go backwards, but they do get a field goal out of it.
They'll take the 3, but in a lot of ways, they feel like they let themselves down by not capitalizing, and they definitely let the defense down for getting the key turnover.
Chat room. Well, I mean, he's not talking, so maybe they don't hear him when he's not talking, obviously.
Yeah, I think when he was talking earlier, they could.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, we can, I mean, if it's, let me see something. Let me just put on the audio.
All right.
After knocking
They
through
can.
the field
Jay
goal,
Bowser saying they can't hear you on.
now for
Go
the
ahead.
kickoff.
King, say something right now. Go ahead.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let me check.
Here comes the offense for the Denver Broncos. Charles, you know, there's been so much focus on the quarterback battle, and rightfully so. What about the running back battle that's going on for the Broncos?
Does he have a setting on his side that he's supposed to be?
You might. Can you go into your broadcast settings? I mean, into your settings, and make sure that you have the selected that your audio is to be shared.
I don't think I have that. Let me do that real quick.
Yeah, that's why. That's why, because we have to share the audio. We might have to ask you these questions again. Yeah, we got to do an audio check.
I think it's include microphone, audio, and broadcast or something like that.
What's it, broadcast? Oh, no, audio, I think?
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it for you.
Okay, let me mute this out.
It should be all good now.
All right. Let's see if we can hear the guy. All right, keep talking, King, so we can make sure we're picking you up.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I just said that my party's good to be shared and all that, so it should be good now.
Okay.
All right, keep talking, King, so we can make sure we're picking you up.
Still no King.
We will see in a minute. They're a couple seconds behind us.
All right.
We will see in a minute. They're a couple seconds behind us.
All right, well, even with that broadcast, we may be out of luck on you, man. Let me see.
Yeah, he's not. His audio's still not coming through. What's that setting? We gotta go.
Definitely have my. You may just have to try this again.
Let me know.
Because I've got share probably audio on mine, including audio and video clips. Everything's checked on mine. Everything's checked on franchises, I'm sure. One more time.
Yeah, let me check audio.
Say something. King.
I don't even know.
Tell me about that draft champs, man. What you been doing on draft champions? Tell everybody where you rank now. What's been going on with that?
Ranked top 25, you know. Just trying to make the SML look good. Help franchise out with recruiting. You can tell people they got top 100 talent.
Top 100 talent.
I'm hoping it doesn't mess up my league play, though, because Draft Champions, I don't know if you ever played it, it plays a lot different than regular team ranked.
Yeah, the only time I talked about that was, the only time I played that was for that tournament. We know how that went, so.
All right, I think we're hearing him. He just might have to talk a little louder, but I think we're getting him now. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, just talk a little closer into the mic. You all smoothed out and everything. All right, we have to go through these. We're gonna have to. Okay, good. I'm getting a thumbs up that we can hear him. All right, I just want to get these questions out of you on the record with your voice. So, sort of the earlier questions we asked is, did you see yourself as an elite coach, and why you see yourself as that?
I mean, like I said, I think my body of work speaks for itself. I mean, I beat everybody in this league, won a Super Bowl, more than most people can say. So, I put myself top 5.
Top 5. Oh. So when this is sort of the question I asked earlier. What do you say to the critics that say, "Oh, he plays 15,000 man hours a month in Draft Champions, and this is the reason why he's better"? What do you say to those folks?
I mean, I tell them to play more games and get on my level.
Get on your level.
Okay, so sorry about that. Let's try and catch up. We're not gonna ask you all these questions again. Let's try and rehab what we did talk about earlier with King. Basically, he's pretty much told. I mean, you guys heard the questions, but you didn't hear his responses with regards to how he feels about the game. He basically rated an 8 out of 10. He had a lot of choice words to say about Billy Harvey. We also asked King. This is one question I do want to repeat is. There's talks around, everybody's pretty much saying that they think that this is the Madden where your football knowledge is going to come into play about how good you're going to be, and that a lot of people think that that's going to be something that holds King back. And King, what was your response to that? You'd be surprised, man. See, you you think it's those guys, but it's it may be some other guys out there, King. I'm proud of you, man. I'm glad to see.
What was that? So speaking of that, do you have any rivalries that you consider a rival to you?
On the ground. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
How are you feeling about the Texans at this Madden, since that's who you're going to be rolling with? You going to stick with Osweiler, or are you looking about shipping it?
Second down following the run. In the backfield is Anderson.
Now, you've got the Colts, you got Renegading the division. Does he pose a threat to you?
Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Quarterbacks like throwing the slant route, but they have to be careful about ball placement. They have to put it in a spot that makes sure the receiver has his body in front of the defender.
is that division yours? Straight up, is that division yours? Wow, not a doubt. I mean, criminal and Facey, you're not.
We'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Wow. How do you, yeah? How do you see the AFC then? If that division is yours, I mean, do you?
Still first down.
What do you see in the AFC?
So the penalty by the offense.
Thelonious, he's not lacking confidence. I don't know if you're hearing what I'm hearing, but this is the same King we see on the boards. He's not lacking confidence.
The shotgun snap for Sanchez. Over the middle, open is
lose
Thomas.
Yeah, I'm still here, man. I'm just trying to interface with them. They're saying we're really loud and King is not that loud. I think we're just gonna cut you, King, right now. We'll try to get our audio stuff straight. At least they can hear us and move on, and then we'll try to we'll bring you back for sure. Try to make up for this debacle of production on my part.
King, man, I really appreciate you taking the time in your class act. Thank you.
Away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
All right, yeah. So we've got some work to do with our audio department.
Yeah, I don't know. We should have tested that. So I'll take the blame for that. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, moving on. Let's move on to the next group of topics.
The game review, right? I mean, so Madden 17's out. We've had it now for what? Looks like 2 weeks. No, only a week, right? We've had it a week.
Yeah, we have had it. We've had it for. I know it's only been. I was just thinking about that today when I was talking to someone about the draft. I think I may have been talking to King about the draft champion rankings, and I was saying this game's been out a week, man. Feels like it's been out 2 or 3 weeks, especially with people sitting around. We need to start.
Yeah, losing sleep out here. I guess I understand what that means. So let's kind of give the game a review from our humble eyes and what we think about some of the features. First of all, gameplay. So gameplay to me has been, you guys looking at the screen. I like the actual, some of the interaction. We're going to talk about some of the things that aren't working so well, but the overall gameplay on the field seems to be more aggressive, more fast-paced, and that's because of the offensive line and defensive line interaction. You need to make your decisions a lot quicker. At least that's been my vantage point. You just can't indiscriminately throw the ball into tight windows. You can't help but notice those big 6'4" and 6'5" wide receivers in Funchess and Benjamin.
Monster guys, and don't forget.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, as was talked about on the boards, and you made sure to yell and scream at people. My early impressions of the game were feeling kind of helpless on defense. I mean, there's still my fair share of things where I feel like you're somewhat helpless. But after experimenting with some of the different defensive play calls you can have in defensive options, I kind of feel like, there's still a lot to learn, number one, but the other part of it is, I think, like, overall, if you know what's coming, you can stop it. So that's a good thing, it appears. You just can't stop it with one player sometimes.
I'm with you on that. I know people seem to think I'm a homer for EA, but there's a lot of issues there.
50 rematch. The Panthers off to the early lead. We're back to Uptown Charlotte.
So next, the overall presentation. I know now I could see like Cam Newton's Nike cleats.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gordon with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. I know second and 9 to start things out.
Engine, like FIFA did. So they're kind of watching the progress there. But overall, I think the game, they haven't made a major change from last year.
9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down.
Yeah, the presentation looks good. I'm really, really impressed with the actual commentating, just because I don't feel like I'm hearing the same stuff again. And then I'm seeing posts all the time of people saying, I was in my CFM and they said this. So that kind of stuff really, really helps instead of knowing, I'm going to hear this game and I'm going to hear him say the same thing that he said.
Yeah, Charles Davis referenced it. I heard that. I was like, wow,
about the offensive line, the job they just did.
Yeah, I actually read some people today who were saying, I think one guy was saying he had drafted a 6th-round pick, and he started the 6th-round pick, and the announcers were like, it's not often that you draft somebody in the 6th round and they end up starting, that type of thing. That's the kind of stuff that I think is really huge. So.
All right. I agree. Next,
It'll be first down here after the run.
New features within CCM, which are, big decisions. I mean, I know we haven't gotten too deeply into it, so we may not be able to comment on it as well. But overall, what are your thoughts on
and he'll be taken down at the 34. A gain of 3.
It's tough to say. I mean, I know what I've seen just looking in here. There's going to be a lot that we discover after later on. Mostly I've looked to see what the goals are. I really like the focus player thing, so you can focus on several people. From what I've heard about how progression is going to work, overall, I think that's going to be a good thing. And then, so, I mean, I think we've got some things there that are going to help. I'm hearing that the rookie classes are coming in a little low, but it's easier to progress them. So, there's a lot to be learned about that, but all of them sound exciting. I'm still a little upset that you can't export your team, but other than that, it sounds pretty good.
The offense in that middle ground here.
All right, so let's get into the hot topic this week on the boards. I get my morning coffee, I sit down at my desk, and I see in my headline news, it's broken. It's broken. Everything's broken. So what's broken? Let's talk about what's broken.
He gets this one to the 17-yard line.
Broken is a difficult topic, man.
I know.
So my initial thoughts in my first couple hours, or my first day or two of play was in the zone, playing zones that deep middle was broken. And I still feel that deep middle, I think what the issue was after playing more is that the zones that you used to call in the old Madden, if you try to cover deep middle with those zones, you're going to have a difficult time. But there are other zones that are much better at covering deep middle and deep sidelines. The cover 3 Madden is really good. I think it's covering deep sidelines. It's really good at covering up the seam and deep middle. But the thing I would like to see, the main thing I would like to see that, I mean, I don't even know if it's broken, something that needs to be adjusted is, like if you've got a guy in like a hook zone or a buzz zone, and he doesn't have a responsibility, they don't come up, they just keep dropping back, and that's why you see so many drags, I think, wide open, and stuff like that. So I kind of feel they need to be more responsive to stuff in front of them if they don't have anybody, over the top. Like, you've got 2 routes and he's got a pick, that's one thing. When he doesn't have 2 routes, I kind of feel like that guy should be more proactive at operating and seeing what's in front of him.
Now, in the scrimmage exhibition games, Julio Jones has been looking like Megatron, and there's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of talk about is just Julio OP or is the game broke? So what are your thoughts in that area?
When you're dealing with Julio, man, I'm not really sure. It's like one of those things with Julio where, hold on a second, I think we're still experiencing audio issues with you, franchise. Can you turn you're actually kind of low with me.
Oh yeah.
The return comes now from Jordan Norwood.
But
and he'll take it
that better?
The 25 and up to the
that is better. It's saying the game is loud, but I have all the audio down. That's weird.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here?
You're louder now, so that's good.
That's better, yeah. Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And give us some points. No way
does that guy get on the field down to 0, which I find to be odd.
It wasn't his fault. Listen, if some guy, there may be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here we go. Black 35.
They start the drive with Anderson. And he'll be tackled.
I don't know, it's loud because I'm in the menus and I've got the massive volume down to 0, but
J Miles just posted a picture of Titanic breaking in half.
Well, it is what it is.
All right, I stopped the game now, so maybe that'll be better.
Oh, it was your game. It was your game.
Yeah, it's
No, I don't know.
possible. It's
Anyway,
possible.
all right. 10 minutes says it sounds great now. So anyway,
Okay.
what we were talking about, guys, was just in general. You guys could hear me apparently, so you got the gist
Yeah.
of what we said about what was broken. But we had gotten to talking about Julio Jones, and it's not just Julio Jones. I mean, from my experience, and this is just me. You can one-on-one against cover three on the outside. If you got an elite receiver against an average cornerback, you're going to have a very, very, very difficult time stopping them from making the greatest catches. If you have a really good cornerback against an elite receiver, you're going to have a very, very time stopping them one-on-one with these outside bullet passes. Um, and you're going to have a almost even more difficult time like getting turnovers. Like it's pretty much a coin flip. Like either guy's going to catch it or it's going to be an incomplete pass. But when you look at it in the game, like I don't feel like if you look at the position the receiver has on the cornerback and the size of the cornerback, is one of those things where you're like, well, would Julio actually come down with that catch one-on-one? And a lot of the times it is, well, yeah, he'll come down with that catch. So I haven't really tested it extensively on the side that I usually use it on with a mid-tier receiver. But from what I have seen, mid-tier receivers aren't making these catches. But guys like Demaryius Thomas, Antonio Brown, Julio are making these catches on the regular. And SWAT doesn't work. Like everybody says SWAT, but first of all, I don't think you have enough time to SWAT. But if you do have enough time to SWAT, I've played many games where me and the guy I'm playing against, all right, let's just do this down the field and see what happens. And that SWAT animation just doesn't come out fast enough to defend that. So I've seen some videos saying that play the receiver would work better, but I haven't had good experience to play the receiver either. So we'll see when league play starts and people are starting to see it. But right now, that's a concern of mine. I mean, not really a concern of mine, but a concern of people who, are going to have to play players who use this tactic.
Well, is the SWAT mechanic was added to defend against that, and so you're saying against man coverage, say one-on-one, it's just not working depending on the type of pass you throw?
Yeah, I think that SWAT was designed, I think more than anything, to defend that deep lob from last Madden, where if the guy was even with you, he would make that one-hand catch, and SWAT wouldn't, and you couldn't do anything pretty much if you didn't have a second guy there. You can watch the Madden Championship, and they were throwing that lob, and it works in that situation. But these bullet passes to the sideline, it's just it ain't gonna work. I just don't. I mean, it's not gonna work consistently. Like it's gonna work sometimes, but you got 4 downs, people. And if I can throw that pass 4 times, and my dude's not tired, I can pretty much count on him bringing it down at least half the time.
Yeah, this is a major concern, and so this could, I mean, I don't know what the recourse would be. I mean, a slider change, I don't know what else could be done about this, and except if EA makes that change.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's not one of those things I'd want to change the slider on because there's already enough drops. So if you take down catching traffic or something like that, then you're going to have even more drops. And it also adds, I mean, to be honest with you, it does add a dynamic to the game where you have to account for these great receivers. Like you can't leave them one-on-one. You kind of have to double team them or have somebody over there. I mean, there's ways to stop it. You just can't stop it in cover 3. Like you can stop it playing man. You can stop it with underneath. You're just going to give up something else. I mean, that's football in essence. Like you've got to make adjustments. But a lot of people are going to come out there in their base defense thinking, okay, I should be able to stop this, and you're not going to be able to stop it.
All right. No, this is something to watch. There's been a lot of talk about this, and I have my concerns as well, and certainly we'll talk more about it. So last week, let's kind of go to the next topic, and there's on the field stuff and there's off the field stuff, and there was an incident. I'm calling it a Riley Cooper moment that we had, and we had to expel an owner for some very racist behavior on the boards. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, man. It's one of those things where we should have had the extremely volatile Polo on here to talk about this, man, because him and Stay Ready were the witnesses of this, and Polo was the one who was directly involved. more than anybody else. Not in a bad way. I mean, Polo has his fair share of starting fights, but this is not one of those instances. Like, this is one of those things when they were just talking. I don't even remember how it started, but he just, said the N word, and Polo was like, hey, don't use it, and it turned into, I can say whatever the hell I want to say, dude. What you gonna do, N? So it was just, and it was one of those things where I was watching it, and I was waiting for him to say, all right, my bad, I ain't gonna say this anymore, but it just got worse. Like, it was just like, I can say it, N, I can say it, N. So, and then it got to the point where he was just like, I can say it, I know I'm gonna get kicked out, but I can say it. It's a free country. It's, I'm making Madden great again. Oh my God.
He was exercising his First Amendment right, and I think you exercised your right to kick him out. That was unfortunate to hear. Now, as you know, I do a lot of the owner intake for the league, and I'm very, I extended my apologies to any and all that were affected by this behavior, and we'll do a better job of vetting these folks. That's not something that we're, it's very difficult to vet, but certainly, I try to get.
You can't vet anything like that.
Yeah, it's just a little difficult, but certainly try to have some conversations with them, just kind of see where their head's at. But maybe I'll need to ask some more questions.
Hey man, are you a racist?
Yeah,
what you gonna ask, man?
Yeah, I gotta put that on the form.
Leave that racist stuff at home, dude.
Yeah, keep that hush, right? And all right, so there was a study by Madden Brothers on the offensive line. I know you wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I like to talk about that primarily because offensive line matters. I mean, I've done many years ago. I did a temporary study, not necessarily to see if offensive line mattered, but just to see if if run block and pass block mattered, or if you could just get by with one or the other. And there was a study done by an individual with Madden Bros, where he made like 2 lines. One of them had 70 everything, and the other one had like 99 everything. And don't quote me on every single stat. What I do remember is the things he tested. Number 1 was sacks, and how much time you had based on how good your line was. And it was a situation where if the 70 line gave you on average, with just standard pressure with no blitzes, about 3 seconds to throw, over 100 snaps. And the better line the 99 line gave you 2 seconds more. So basically about 5 seconds on average to 5 seconds on average to throw the ball under standard pressure. So it's very revealing because typically you can say that didn't make a difference. Now, the run game, they said it did not make as big a difference, but the big thing, and this is something I think many of you have seen if you think about playing a game, that although it didn't good line didn't necessarily result in better yards per carry, it did result in less tackles for a loss. So it was basically a situation where you would get on average, on 3% of plays, you would get tackled for a loss with the 70 line. And then on the line that was a 99, you would get tackled on, I'm sorry, I misquoted that. With the bad line, on average, you got tackled for a loss on 10% of plays. With the 99 line, you got tackled for a loss on about 3% of plays. So,
listen, I don't know about you.
Big difference.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I've been playing, I've been scrimmaging against guys like, my man Lons and that Quinn dude coming off the edge. I mean, it's fear. It's just, I need to look where this guy's lined up on the defensive line before I snap the ball. And that to me is, I'm like, wow, I never had to do that before in Madden. So I'm assuming people like J.J. Watt and all these cats, Von Miller and all these cats coming off the edge, you're not going to get a lot of time to throw the ball.
Yeah, and the guys who I play that I've seen a lot of pressure from, BK and Lons in particular, even Swirlberg, like not even pressure, like I found it very difficult to run against him. I found it very difficult to run against the Booker, when I played him, like those teams with good defenses are making plays. And the other thing was like if you've got like a not good offensive lineman against someone like a J.J. Watt, like they win the first move, like
Yeah.
almost every time. So
Yeah.
you got to think about that too. So it's just something to consider for people that are
We got to
as
draft
they're
the
building
offensive
teams.
lineman. We got to draft O lineman now. Look at
Hey, I
that.
mean, I think we may see one. I think we may see one go early this year, and that's not something that happens.
Yeah. That's good stuff. So we had a team change. We had the Chargers and the Giants owners switch, and
Yeah,
that happened
man.
like late on Sunday night. Thought I was dreaming. I said, "Wait a minute, Arthur's in the done left the division."
Yeah, that was surprising, but I think it's a good fit, especially for
Yeah,
Arthur, because you know Arthur likes to have that really, really good dominant receiver to play with, and
yeah, he got that.
OJB is more of that than Keenan Allen is, and apparently Ratchet is a Chargers fan, and I love it
Yeah,
when people have their pick the teams that they're fans of, so that definitely is a good trade. I think that'll be good for both of them.
somewhere Booker is saying, well, not everybody got who they wanted, but that's another story, right? All right, so
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
go to this topic. You were, and I was again back to reading the morning papers. The Madden XP sliders got a lot of editorial feedback from the uh, from the masses about the discussion about the upcoming modifications to XP slider, and there was some confusion as to the XP sliders and the XP sliders. So could you clear that up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so just it's funny you mentioned that because I've actually got the screen up now. First, let me talk a little bit about the study that was done. Um, there's this guy on Operation Sports who I'm thankful for him because I didn't have time to do this. But basically, and you guys remember from last Madden, certain positions is very easy to meet your goals. So like quarterback, halfback, what what else was it? Linebackers, defensive ends are very easy to meet goals. It's like sacks, passing yards, rushing yards. If you have a good season, you're gonna meet your goals. Um, Positions like, however, receiver, where you got to get like 100 receptions. If you got a lineman with blocking goal, like with running goals, like 2,500 rushing yards, that's not a goal you're gonna get. Middle linebackers usually have tackling goals that you're not gonna get in the 6 minute games. Cornerbacks with deflection goals, they don't even track deflections properly. So ultimately, what ends up happening there is these players never can get year-end bonuses, which can stunt their growth. And they can't. It's hard for them to get game bonuses because they can't meet their game-to-game bonuses because we're only playing 6 minutes. We're not playing a standard length game. So basically, what he did was he counted all the players in the league at each position, how many 90 overalls there were, how many 80 overalls there were, and how many 70 overalls there were. And then he simmed 10 years. And then he counted the distribution again. And what he was finding was that on the default sliders, there were no 90s after a while, or there was very few 90s at each position, and the overall player ratings was decreasing, and that was number one because of those goals, but number two because a lot of stuff is a lot more expensive this year. Like last year, if you had a guy with like no awareness, his awareness was going to be very cheap, like maybe 300 XP. This year, there are some people like that who have really, really, really low awareness, but once you get in like the 60s, it goes up to like near 1,000. So with it presents a problem with that. So he has recommended sliders, and basically the way it works is if you can meet your goals, your sliders are going to be right around where they are by default. If you can't meet your goals, they're higher. So what I have up on my screen right now is this is a simulated season. And the first thing people are going to see when they look at this, I don't know if you can see it, franchise, but look how much XP Dak Prescott has. It's 56,000 XP. Now, mind you, I put his slider down. Like his slider is default 100. I moved it down to 96. So when you look at Dak Prescott, he's got 56,000 XP and he's got 82 speed. I don't know why they made speed so cheap, but you can increase his speed. I mean, I can pick this all the way up to, this is ridiculous. So I can take it up to 89 before it gets to a point where it's really, really expensive. And this is with the default sliders. So the reason what he did to address that is the QB sliders have to be put down. But the other factor here is looking at let's see what Dak Prescott did this season.
Now his trait matters, right? If he's a superstar, he gets even more, right?
If you are a superstar, you will get 3 times XP, and everything will be
Wow.
about 15% cheaper. So
Mhm.
ultimately, what's going to happen with this is if you have a superstar player and you have a great season with him,
Mhm.
he is going to improve drastically. Like within a year or
Mhm.
two, he's going to be very high rated, like 80 to 90. Um, but the
Mhm.
normal players would get a third of that XP. So I don't know what Dak Prescott's trade is, but so this Dak
It was
Prescott that I
normal.
have, he
It was
won.
just normal. I
It's
just saw
normal.
it as
O-
normal. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so he won Offensive Rookie of the Year, and winning Offensive Rookie of the Year, and basically, let me look at. Oh, I just had a crash.
This is
That's
this is
awesome.
just like this is just like real life. Dak
Yeah.
Prescott, right?
So
Offensive Player of the Year.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had looked at his stats earlier. Dak Prescott had 34 TDs, 15 touchdowns. He won Offensive Rookie of the Year, and this is with his slider at 96. So the recommended slider for him is 90. But you just see from that like where he's going to come down
Mhm.
to, where he
Yeah.
how good he's going to be able to be if you play good with Dak Prescott.
Mhm.
Sober had posted a picture earlier of Ezekiel Elliott with like 53,000.
That's
He has
crazy.
superstar trait. Yeah, he
That
has
was after
superstar
one
trait.
year.
That was after one. That was after 1 year, but I don't know. I don't know like what awards he won. The Dak Press, the Elliott that I had, that I just simmed. I
Mhm.
didn't have. I had a slider at 150. He had 1,300 yards and 4 TDs, and he had about 29,000, which is right about normal. So it's gonna take some minor tweaking.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
the key is we need to
Mhm.
at least address the people who aren't getting goals, and we need to
Mhm.
address quarterbacks because quarterbacks just apparently get a crap ton of XP.
Yeah, man, that needs to be toned down. I got you. Yeah. So, I mean, these are real concerns. These are not options that we had last year because of when we started the season. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, so when they did the
Mhm.
patch last year, it did not work on active franchises.
Mhm.
So it was a
Mhm.
situation where you could see the XP slider in the active franchise, but it was actually grayed out. So we couldn't adjust it
Mhm.
mid franchise last year unless we
Mhm.
started after they issued that patch.
Got it. Yeah. This is Yeah, connected franchise looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of decision making people are going to have to make, and they can't just bypass that. And right, I mean, you're going to have to pay attention to these things, right? Is that your
Yeah, I
feeling?
mean it's with these traits, you're gonna have to. Superstar players have more value than ever.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm talking about like really being able to improve these people to
Mhm.
be like top players in the league by the end of the franchise.
Mhm.
So that is there are people that are going to be scrambling for them. But yeah, I
Mhm.
mean you're going to be able to build your team a lot more effectively this year.
And you can find some diamonds in the rough, right, in the draft because of the superstar trait business too, right? You might,
Exactly. So yeah,
yeah.
they get three times XP for every activity, like
Wow.
goals, week to week, everything. So it is. I mean,
Mhm.
it is a big difference.
Yeah. All right, that's good. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are going to be building through the draft, and that's a good thing. All right. Well, hope we answered the questions as they relate to XP sliders as opposed to the franchise sliders for development. So hopefully that's cleared up. The next topic, this is sort of a fun one for us, the SML vets, and there's a perception, and I know you know we were talking about this. Are the veterans trying to win Madden anymore? Is it enough to just be in the league and yo, what's up, man? Just chilling, cooling with your fellas. But are the cats really trying to win anymore? Is that a part of their goals?
This is one segment I wish we had King here for, and we'll make sure to get him back. But um, I mean, I'm trying to win.
Yeah, yeah.
I honestly believe that, I don't know, like some people are just playing for fun. We know that, okay? But then you have other people who um, really want to win, maybe can't win, or are struggling, and they are just taking a position of um, I'm just playing this for fun, and that's perfectly fine. I've been there before. So there have been Maddens where I've said, nah, I'm just playing this for fun. I don't really care. But you know what happens when I do that? You got jerks running around talking crap to you like King, like, whatever, you ain't playing this for fun, you just suck. So that was one of those things where I was like, you know what, I can't play like this because I can't deal with people talking trash to me like they're awesome. So, I play to win, man. I'm not in here to play to lose. But, there are many people in here who's like, I don't have the passion. I'm just going through the motion. So sometimes I wonder, is that an excuse or is it true? That's just, that's what comes with it.
Well, I mean, we had one owner say that it was, it's just fun to kind of be in the league, and again, everybody has their right, their reasons for playing. Others are, said they were playing for props, right? I saw that on the boards once, and I'm just playing for props, and I respect everybody's decision, but
But what does franchise play for? People want to know what
yeah,
franchise plays for. Like,
listen,
franchise invested some serious money into his squad on
yeah,
this game. So,
yeah,
what are your goals on this game, man? What
yeah.
are you playing
Listen,
for today?
listen, man. If we're playing checkers, we're playing chess, we could be playing taboo or something, games with the Monopoly with the kids. I'm trying to win, and I don't know of any other way to be. I enjoy winning. I mean, I've had some throw the controller moments in my own, and my goal is just to win a chip. I've yet to do that. That's sort of the monkey. I was like Steve Young, right? When he took over for Montana, he had to get that monkey off his back. So, we're trying to win, and we wanted to play with our boys. That we've never, in all of the time that I've been in the SML, I've never actually had a team that I liked. I mean, I don't know if you remember when I came in after being the commissioner of the VG League, I had like the Texans, and they were bad
Yep.
back then, man. They were bad, and so by the time it took me to build them up, the league was over. I was like, yeah, this is a 3-year plan, man, because I don't like to make a lot of trades. I don't want to disrupt. I like to build through the draft and make a minor trade here and there, but ultimately, I'm trying to win, man, and now, I got to play with the silver and black, and they're turning it around, so I'm trying to win, and it's AFC is brutal. There's a lot of good coaches over there, and so it's going to be even tougher.
Hey, hold on a second, man. This is a disaster.
What they can't hear your stream?
When my screen crashed, it took my stream down. Is yours still up?
Yeah, mine is still up.
Okay, so well, yours is going to be the source then. We're good to go. Go ahead.
I don't know if they're using it, but they
Yeah,
should be
I
able
don't
to
know.
see it. They should
All
be able
right,
to hear
so
it. You could tell them. Let me put it in the. We'll close it out with stir the pot because everybody seems to like that anyway. Let me just go put that into the. Yeah, I'm getting quotes like it's an epic fail, and we always get
yeah, well,
complimentary things from
that's
some
the way
of
it
our
works, man.
owners.
We
Yeah.
can't always be perfect, man. We
It's
can't
all
always
right.
be
We're,
perfect.
we're, we're going to get
Learn.
the kinks out. By the time the season starts, this is the preseason, we will have all this worked out.
It's the preseason of our show too, man.
Yeah, no,
Preseason
and
of
one
our
and
show.
one other thing I want to talk about that's off of our agenda is that, and I know we get a lot of heat over this is, uh, I hope everybody is able to Twitch their games and that brings the fun, man. I get to see some coaches that I never really even get to see some of these cats play like RJ and Juice. I don't even get to see them that much, and I want to see some of the battles that in your division, Miles and J Miles and B Miles going at it, and I want to be able to see those games. Polo and Harvey. I mean, that's must see TV right there. We got to
Yeah.
be able to see that. And if for in no other reason for the entertainment value. And I know you were trying to create some incentives, and I don't know why people think that they're going to be hiding something this year. I mean, let's just Twitch the games, and we all doing it, so we're all on the same playing field, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would like for everyone to Twitch, but I don't want it to be one of those things where it's forced, which is, why I came up with the actual incentive thing. But, you know, people voted down our TV contract, man. So,
Yeah,
what can
yeah.
we do?
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
that I thought it was going to be something where people were going to
Yeah,
be,
true. It's true.
hyped to hear it, but hey, and it wasn't even a situation where I was like, hey, we're going to pay people some amount that's going to be unfair. Like it was a fair amount, but it is what it is. People like to have control over their own, over what they release and what they don't release. So I'll let them
Yeah,
keep
this is true.
those magnificent schemes quiet or whatever.
This is true. I would like to, if it's okay with you, is to have our next guest, and I want to have some of, maybe we can get our audio worked out, and we can have some folks to talk about the user versus non-user aspect, because I'd like to get, maybe Bahama can join, maybe BK, talk about the user versus non-user for 17. I think that'd be a good discussion to have them on if they are interested in talking live on the show. I think that would be entertaining.
Yeah, I think it will be too. So let's move it on to this stir of the pot thing. We're getting
All
near
right.
the end of our hour here.
Yeah, we're almost at the end of the hour. All right, let me jump in here with Stir the Pot. I hope everybody can hear me. This is our final segment, when, as we always do, to kind of close out the show. This is where owners and coaches can send anonymous quotes that we will say on the air, and we will not, and I promise you, not reveal our sources. That is the whole point, and it's all in tongue in cheek. So don't nobody get mad and say, "Yo, I'm a fight. Give me your address," and none of that. All right. All right. Here we go. Here's the first one. Stir the pot number 1 says, Ratchet is good as hell, but that dude is indecisive too. Ain't he switched teams more than Gabe?
Wait a minute. Who was Ratchet when he first came into the league?
I think he was like the 49ers, right?
Was he?
I think he was the 49ers. Then he went to the Jaguars or something.
I know he was a Jag. I remember him as a Jags, but I didn't know. I didn't know. I forgot he was the 49ers first.
Yeah,
That's right.
he was the
That's right.
49ers, and he's the Jags, and now he was the Giants, and now he's the Chargers. I mean, him and Gabe, right?
Yep, I didn't even think about that, man. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I mean, it's hey, the thing is, and this is why I mentioned this earlier. I like to see people play with their favorite teams, because you kind of feel like they're gonna, if they get their favorite team, and once they build their favorite team up, they're gonna stick around. So I mean, the Chargers are apparently his favorite team. Maybe he will stop changing now. Maybe.
Yeah, we have to count. I'm gonna have to keep a counter for him. All right, next, stir the pot number 2 says, has anybody seen Criminal since the draft? Dude is dude is invisible like the new owner's franchise found. Where they at?
Oh man, I didn't even think about Criminal. Criminal just sits there. He'll just come out of the blue randomly, like, and just say some shit. You're like, you haven't said anything. Right now, Criminal is online playing Neverwinter. I don't even know what that is. It's probably not him.
Goodness. Wow, that's a good one. All right, next, stir the pot number 3 says, I think there is unnecessary hate directed towards Gabe and no respect for the champ. I feel like he's getting hated on from other light-skinned dudes for no reason, and they need to be sticking together like the 80s. Al B. Sure and Christopher. Al B. Sure and Christopher Williams never fought. He says, I can understand it from the Jersey Boy or Sexual Chocolate, but light-skinned lives matter, and I hate to see y'all fight.
That's pretty funny, and I can pretty much guess he wrote that. And to be honest though, I mean, I don't know, man. Gabe's a young dude.
Yeah.
And young dudes in this league, it's hard. It's hard for a young player, man, because you got all these older guys. I mean, we're mostly older guys in this league who've been playing Madden for a long time, and it's a respect thing. Partially, it is it's difficult, man. So I mean, that may play into it. I don't know about the light skin stuff, but
yeah, it's a.
So he wouldn't know how he looked if it wasn't for Stalker King posting pictures of people and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. King will find you on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat.
I've never seen. Look, if I need a social media private investigator, that's who I'm hiring.
Yeah, King got up BK's picture, right?
That's his profile picture, man.
All right, next, stir the pot number 4. It says, I feel there are some people in the league who found nothing wrong with Odell Beckham singing in a hot tub with his boys. I'm just saying. I'm not touching that one. Yeah,
Man, yeah,
it's
I don't want any parts of that.
all
I
right.
mean, you can just Google Odell Beckham and you will find all you need to find out about Odell Beckham. And hey,
Wow.
that don't mean the guy can't play football, but
Yeah, you can.
yeah.
Yeah, some people they're saying they're not wasn't upset at that. All right, next. Y'all were so wrong for kicking Billy Harvey's son out of the league like that. Wow. Are they trying to say Billy Harvey was connected to Hawk? Is that what he means?
That's what I'm gonna imply from that.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah,
That's Billy Harvey has his fair share of questionable
yeah.
stuff. The one thing I can say about Billy is that Billy will
Yeah.
back down.
Yeah, no, he'll definitely he'll let you know he's there.
You got a league of 32 people, man. You're just not gonna have 32
Hmm.
people that see eye to eye on every issue, man. It's
No.
just the nature of the beast. You just gotta be respectful, man. That's all we want.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Next, stir the pot number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It says at least 4 people in this league probably will vote for Trump. Wow, there's our Trump reference. Bringing politics into the SML.
Um, I don't really want to talk about politics.
Yeah,
And to be honest with you, there are many players who I don't really know what their political views are. But I don't really
well,
care. Like I said, I don't care
yeah,
what you believe, man. I just want respect.
yeah,
I want everybody to respect everybody else.
that's right. Yeah. And we have to. The Human Resources Department will keep that in mind. We will make sure we respect all religions, races, creeds, and political affiliations. Next, Gabe was a one-hit wonder like a Dina Howard. He don't even know who that is, but his time as champ is over. Lon's running that division from start to finish. And it says for
I don't,
Smadden, my Madden.
man. I selected Gabe when we did that whole preview thing, just based on how he ended last Madden. But we all know he got the game late this year, and I haven't seen
Yeah,
anyone put in as much time as Lons has put in on this game, scrimmages and everything.
yeah,
And
Lon's is a
I gotta
beast.
say, man, I'm gonna have to change my pick there. Like I haven't heard anything about Gabe playing this game. So,
Yeah,
and this is
he's
not a game you're just gonna pick up and dominate like you did
no,
if you were good at the last game either. So,
no.
um,
Yeah, he's
I
got
hate to
about a
change a pick
week
this
left.
early, but I'm
Yeah.
changing that one. Yeah,
Wow.
we're
Yeah.
almost getting to that time.
I don't know if you play Lons, but it ain't no joke.
Yeah, I have played lines. Put it this way, I have
Yeah.
played lines when he scrimmages. I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but the last 2 times I played him, like he doesn't even play Gurley. Like he's got Gurley on the bench.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's right.
and you're gonna have a hard time moving the ball against Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
And right now he's got that thing humming. He's got that
Yeah.
thing humming without Gurley. Once he gets Gurley in there, and I don't even know what Gurley's gonna do because I have not played him with Gurley. But I can tell you I have played Squirrel Bird with Le'Veon Bell, and Gurley is on that same level. And you cannot tackle him with the first person.
Yeah.
Like in the backfield, you hit him with the first person. A lot of the time, he is going to break that first tackle. Period. And then after that, it could be a touchdown. Like you don't know. So that is not a person I would want to play right now when he pulls Gurley back out. Brilliant
Yeah.
tactic by him, by the way.
Yeah. He's certainly. I experienced the same thing. I mentioned Quinn earlier, and I think I've had like 28 yards rushing against his front fours.
Yeah,
And I'm
you
like,
don't get rushing yards over there.
nah, it's a problem. All right, next it says Mike Scrape got patched. Now he got Julio OP. He ain't changing no sliders. Wow.
What sliders am I supposed to change? Am I supposed to change the Julio sliders? Look, man, I'm looking forward to this Madden because I'm sure, like I said last week, man, I'm sure there are people out there who think that I'm not gonna be able to play this game because they eliminated one blitz. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna have heat and I'm gonna throw to Julio Jones.
That's that.
So y'all better be ready.
All right, the next one is pretty funny because I got it via email from a email account that I don't recognize, and it says, "Sorry, franchise, but you can't win the big one. But you cool. I'ma buy your ebook though." I was like, wow, this.
They
It's
sent that
like,
to you.
yeah, they
via
sent it,
email.
and they sent it to me. So
That anonymous side of it just went out the
yeah,
window.
yeah. So I was like, wow, nobody's off limits. So that's good. I thought that was funny.
Well, what do you think about that, man? What do you think?
Well, you know what? Until I win a big one, this is what you have to hear. I got some work to do. I'm gonna dedicate a little more time. Been fighting with the lady trying to get on the PS4, so it's always a battle of managing all these different interests. So we're gonna do our best. You're gonna get our best shot when you come into Oakland this year. Y'all can believe that. It's gonna be our. We're gonna give you everything I got, and we probably won't play as slow as everyone thinks that I play.
What? Did I just hear that correctly? Franchise is not gonna play slow this year. He's gonna run no huddle. Chip Kelly has been brought in as a consultant, folks.
Next, it says when Kendrick left, Billy Harvey cried because he will now be the most picked on owner in the league. Is that true? Kendrick was the sort of the stomping boy?
Man, you know what's funny? Yes, he was. And you know what's even funnier? Like, if
Yeah.
Kendrick comes into the chat now,
Yeah.
it's like immediately everybody jumps on him. He like leaves immediately. So funny. I feel
He
bad
came
for
in
that
over the
kid,
weekend,
man.
right? Didn't he come in over
I
the
think he
weekend?
came in. I want to say he came in. Well, I know he sent me a PM today. He might have came in today, but that dude, man, like, I don't know what it is. But as soon as he comes in, it's like everybody who ever had anything negative to say about Kendrick is like, fuck you, dude.
Oh man, yeah, Kendrick. He had a chance to return. He chose not to. I think he was a little salty when I asked him about coming
Yeah.
back. But
I
now
don't
he's
know if he, I
regretting it.
mean, yeah, of course he is. He was asking me about sliders today, so I guess he's going to run his little league and be happy, man.
All right, here's our last one. It says, "So do Democrats have only GEDs?" And I'm guessing that came from a quote earlier from
Yeah.
Harvey, I think, that said, "What did you think I was a Republican?" or something like that. I didn't get all of the details there.
I don't know what that's about, man. It's stupid.
Yeah. So
Um,
let
I
them
don't know.
figure that
This
one.
is stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't going. I'm not going down that politics road, man.
Yeah,
Not going down that politics road.
yeah, it's a touchy subject. All right, listen, I know we had some audio trouble. We're going to try to correct that for the future. I know we were doing a double stream for those that are interested in why this was happening. We were setting up the SML channel, which is where we'd like to put all your games. So this is the point. We're trying to bring the stream to the SML channel, and so we'll work on that in the future. If you have any ideas or topics, or you want to be a guest on the show, I think I just saw Lon said he would love to be a guest on the show. So maybe we'll try to squeeze it in. And also for everyone else, I'm gonna try to don't quote me on this. I'm gonna try to get one of these EA cats. We definitely got to work out our audio if I invite one of these EA cats onto the call. So we're gonna try to iron all that out before we go there.
Good deal. Well, next week, guys, we will have all this stuff ironed out. I apologize for what has gone on here today, but hopefully you were able to get some useful information out of it. And we will make sure, we live and we learn. Second episode, by the time the season rolls, we'll be kicking these things out, and you won't have to deal with some of the stuff you dealt with today. So appreciate you guys listening.
And the season starts September, what is it, 8th?
September 9th is when EA has
September 9th.
announced they're going to release the rosters. The 53-man cutdown date is the 3rd or the 4th, though, so I wouldn't be surprised. It would be nice if we could get them a little early, but when they drop, we will start. I will create the franchise, and everybody can join up.
All right. Looking forward to Commish. It's a great job, great experience hosting with you, and I'll see you next Tuesday.
No problem, brother.
All right. We're
Howdy.
out. Later.